Hello everyone, Moran McKay here, and welcome back for part 5 of Vilja in Skyrim.
It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself?
Please, go ahead.
I mentioned Katla's farm before, didn't I? But I don't think I told you that it was there I fell in love, totally and eternally. Hey, don't look at me like that. I'm talking of Bruce, my horse. It was actually thanks to my experiences as a barmaid that he eventually became mine. You see, Bruce was a hopeless troublemaker who refused the saddle and kicked in every direction when someone tried to lift his hooves. Gaymond, who runs the stable, was quite at a loss and even wanted to have Bruce put down. I was devastated when I heard this. I begged Gaymond to instead sell him to me. Gaymond laughed and said that if I could saddle the horse, then he would let me buy him for a cheap sum. The same evening at the inn, while I was thinking over Bruce's situation, a fat watchman pinched me in the waist so badly that I dropped the full tray. And then it hit me. Of course Bruce was ticklish, just as I am. The next morning I ran down to the stable and asked Gaymond to let me try to put a saddle on Bruce's back. He laughed and said yes. I first let Bruce look at the saddle, then I very firmly put it on his back. And it worked! I managed to ride Bruce. At first Gaymond wanted to back off. He didn't want to sell Bruce to me. But then Katla appeared, and she got really mad at him for breaking his promise. So I could buy Bruce for 500 gold. Guess if I was the happiest girl in all Skyrim. Anytime.
Alright, here we are in Riverwood, so let's talk to these two. You're the one who should have the flute.
Yes? What do you want?
Have you recently won a flute on gambling?
Why are you asking? There ain't no law against playing put a tail on a donkey, as far as I know. Yeah, I did win a flute from a Kaid bard down in Riften. Funny, isn't it, that someone who is born with a tail can play it correctly on a donkey?
The flute will make your life miserable. Can I buy the
Well,
flute?
always interested in a good deal. However, in this case, I cannot help you. I have already sold the flute. There's no point in keeping it, since I'm not a bard, and I have no idea how to play it.
Where's the flute now?
Well, I sold it to another bard, some Redguard fellow. I believe he was heading for Dawnstorm. If you find him, he might let you buy it. But you better hurry up. I think he was planning to leave Skyrim. Didn't seem to like the climate much. Can't blame him. Look, before you leave, maybe you should have a word with my friend here. He has, shall we say, a constantly growing problem related to you. Bye.
New to Riverwood? If you're looking for work, go see Hod at the mill.
Not right now, Gerder.
You know, if that Red Guard bard is heading for Dawnstar, he might be leaving Skyrim with a flute. Please, let's go there immediately.
Alright, we will.
Stay away from me, please.
I believe you wanted to talk to me?
Well, yes. It's about that bottle. The cursing bottle. You took care of it. Didn't you tell the little lady to remove that curse from me?
A curse? What are you talking about?
Well, the bottle cursed me. I swear it did. ever since that day, I can feel something growing. You don't think it's possible for a human to develop a donkey tail, do you?
Dogs. They'll bark at you as soon as you get close.
I don't think it's possible.
Don't know. I can feel something growing, I think. Tell you what, whatever is in that bottle is evil, and it cursed me. I'm cursed. I'm doomed. Please, 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 please. You have to help me. I don't want to live the rest of my life with a donkey tail. I mean, my mother would kill me.
I'll see if I can find a way to help you.
You will? Oh, what a relief. Thank you, thank you. I swear I won't ever steal again.
Started a tale of a donkey tail.
What is love handles? Have I got love handles?
No, you don't. It's something that makes a woman look even nicer. Well, it's fat around the waist.
Mm-hmm. Well, the question was if I had got it or not.
Don't worry, you haven't got any.
Great.
Wow, that's a new one.
Anytime. It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself? What can I do for you?
Oh.
Sure. I really like your outfit. It matches your eyes so well.
Let's just talk for a
Yes?
little while. Tell me about yourself.
Would you like that?
Please, go ahead.
It does make a difference to have a horse, doesn't it? With Bruce, I left Solitude and traveled huge areas of Skyrim. As I told you, I was looking for the Elderglim Sanctuary, but I didn't know where to look. I had heard, though, that one of the pilgrims were often seen in Markarth. She obviously has a friend there, so that's where I started. Not far from Markarth, Bruce stumbled over a stone and injured his leg. Therefore, we had to stay in Markarth for a little while. What a strange city it is, don't you think so? So much stones, so many stairs, and then all the beautiful waterfalls. Markarth is beautiful in its own way, but I've always preferred rural roads to city stones. Anyway, I've heard that climbing stairs is good exercise. If that is true, I would think the Markarth people is in excellent shape. Talk later.
Alright, here we are in Dawnstar. Let's see if we can find that Red Guard.
I wasn't
Bard.
born in Skyrim, but when I served in the Legion, this land became my home.
In the meantime,
Greetings. If you are here to listen to my music, I have to disappoint you. I cannot play, as I've lost my music instruments.
Oh, crap.
I work in the mine just like everyone
Yes,
else.
yes, yes.
Greetings. If you are here to listen to my music, I have to disappoint you. I cannot play, as I've lost my music instruments.
Have you recently bought a flute from a wood elf?
I can't imagine Skuld ever being
Yes, I have. Quite a nice flute, actually. Unfortunately, I haven't got it anymore. In fact, I have lost all my music instruments.
Frida, you
What happened to
insane.
your instruments?
I was
On
a
my way to
beauty in my
Dawnstar,
day,
I was
dear.
attacked by
Don't act
bandits.
so surprised.
They knocked me down and grabbed everything I owned.
Tough day at the mines.
Yes, they even took my precious lute. The best music instrument I've ever played. I think the bandits might be part of the pack that infests Fort Fellhammer. But when I regained consciousness, it was pitch dark and I had no weapon.
That old alpha male almost took off my
I
leg.
don't care about the money
Never
or
did
the
find out why
flute.
they came sprawling
If I
into
could
town
just
like
get
that.
my precious
Animals
lute
in the
back,
Pale don't need a reason to attack
I would be
Dawnstar.
so happy.
That's just their nature.
Maybe I can track down the thieves.
Would you do that? That would be amazing. Tell you what, if you just bring me the loot, you can keep everything else. Yes, I will even try to find a way to reward you, although I have, as you know, lost all my money. Greetings. If you are here to listen to my music, I have to disappoint you. I cannot play as I feel.
Can't sleep well no matter how much drink I put in me.
Well... Lydia.
Dragons breathing fire in the sky. Vampires brazen
Lydia.
attacking people on the street.
Lydia!
It's the end of the world, I tell you.
Okay, as you can see, I've updated all of our gear. Got us some nice cloaks.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Have you got a minute?
Sure.
I have met Wilbert before. He is the red godbard I met on the boat to Dawnstar. The one who promised to teach me how to play a lute.
He didn't recognize you.
No, apparently not. Maybe he was too preoccupied with his worries over the lost music instruments. Or maybe it was because I spent most of the time on the ship being seasick. Well, we did spend an evening together here at Dawnstar as well, but to tell the truth, he was drunk and slept on the table most of the time. You know what? Once we have found his instruments, maybe he will recognize me.
Maybe.
Shall we continue?
Alright, so where is this fort? Not far from here. Alright. I'm not gonna bore you guys with clearing out the fort. I'll start with the video when we have something else related to the mod going on.
It's so nice to just talk a little, you and I. I was just thinking, would you be interested if I told you a little about myself?
Please, go ahead.
It wasn't that easy to get a job in Markarth. Lisbeth, the merchant, who seemed like a nice person, couldn't afford any help. And there was something with the atmosphere at the inn that I just didn't like, so I never asked there. Instead, I started to work as a street sweeper. The work was quite harsh, but I endured. However, one day, the orc ladysmith was walking down the stairs while I was on my knees scrubbing the stones. She didn't look where she put her feet, and therefore she stumbled over me and fell down the stairs. I almost fell too. She didn't injure herself that badly, she only sprained her wrist. But that was bad enough, as it meant she couldn't work. I felt both guilty and sorry for her, so I offered to help, and my help was welcome. So I spent a week tanning skins for the smith, and her brother even showed me how to do some basic work at the forge. But by the time her wrist had healed again, also Brewster had regained his strength, and it was time for us to continue. Anytime.
Alright, here we are in Fort Bellhammer. As you can see, it's just south of Dawnstar. The NPC you need to kill is actually marked with an arrow as long as you have the quest active, so... And he's with the first group that rushes you. I think he's put in here special because he seems to have a different weapon than all the other ones. He's got this orc right here. And a tusk. Last sword. Okay, got the flute and the lute. Alright, and that also he had a mammoth tusk on him. I had to reload the game and he's had it both times, so that's another one of the ingredients you need, and that's the last one that I need.
Have you got both the flute and the lute? Great! So, where should we go first? To Wilbert in Dawnstar or to Rathsan in Riften?
Wilbert and Dawnstar. What is it?
Let me see. You have all the ingredients on your list now, haven't you? Oh, that is wonderful. Now I just have to find the ones remaining on my list.
What is it?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Have you got a minute?
Tell me your thoughts.
I have now only one thing left that I need to collect before we can return to Anesia. Isn't that great?
That's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, I'm so happy. Now we only need to find this last thing, though.
And what might that be?
It's a dragon bone. You don't happen to have one somewhere? I mean, else we will have to wait for a dragon to kill, won't we?
We'll have to wait for a dragon to kill.
Alright. You know, I'm so glad that I'm not alone in this. I wouldn't be able to kill a dragon, but I'm sure that you can do it. Just be careful, will you? I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Here, I have been making some potions. Maybe they can help protecting you against the dragon.
Alright.
Anytime.
You got everybody? Lydia? Vilja? Let's go back to Dawnstar first. Alright, here we are back in Dawnstar. And everybody? Yep.
Greetings. If you are here to listen to my music, I have to...
I found your loot.
Have? Is it true? You have really tracked down those bandits for me?
My
Fantastic.
sister is so afraid of spiders.
I
wonder
hope
what she
my
will think
precious
of a
loot hasn't been
frostbite
damaged in
spider.
any way. May I have it, please?
I believe you know my companion, Vilja?
Ah, yes. Vilja. I recognize her now. I met her on the boat to Skyrim, but she is the worst landlubber I've ever seen.
She spent most of the time with her head very close to a bucket.
On the other hand, when we arrived to Dawnstar, she really celebrated. That girl surely knows how to dance on a table. I know I promised to teach her how to play the lute, but as she was so seasick, I never got around to it. As you have been so kind and brought back my lute, I think I know a suitable reward. Well, rather for Vilja than for you, actually.
A suitable reward?
If Vilja is to learn how to play a lute, she needs a good lute. Now, my young friend Sindra is currently staying at the Bard's College in Solitude. She has a decent lute that belongs to me, but I have just received a letter from her. She has bought herself a better lute and doesn't need it anymore. Here, take her letter. Show it to her and ask her to give you the lute. Vilja can have it. Then you and Vilja can come back to me and I'll teach her a little.
Maybe you should have a talk with Vilja too.
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to that. Vilja, it's so great to see you. I must say you look a lot healthier now than on the ship.
Oh, Wilbert, it's so great to see you too. And you look a lot healthier than last time too.
my son?
Tell me, did you really get a good sleep under that table?
With you dancing on the very same table? You must be kidding.
Maybe we should do it some other time again? Although I don't think the innkeeper would like it much.
Yes, maybe some other time. But first you and your friend should go to Solitude and meet my
I
friend
was wondering,
Sindra.
Father,
She has a
maybe you
lute
should take a
for
day
you,
off
you
and
see.
head into town. I could watch the
A
end while
lute?
you're away.
For me? Oh,
Why would I do
Wilbert,
that?
is this
There's work
true?
to be done here.
Oh, I'm
It'll do you
so
good.
happy.
Maybe you could visit Ergnir
It's
or Fruki on
absolutely
your way
true.
out. I've
And
seen
once
them
you
looking
have
at
the
you when
lute,
they come in for
I'll be
drinks.
happy to teach you
Why
a
would
few
they be
tricks.
looking at me?
How does that sound?
Upset about the service?
Oh,
Oh,
Wilbert.
never mind.
So, we'll meet again, my friend. Until then, safe travels.
See you soon again, my friend.
The Wind Peak Inn features the finest bard in all of Dawnstar. Me.
Alright.